The sun is setting, the lights are on, we got a cool September night, and we're here between the pines as the Pinecrest Paladins host the Mount Paran Eagles. I'm Ned Case alongside Paul Hoover. Thanks for joining us here on Pinecrest Academy Football presented by SUVtv. We got a Region 6A matchup here, and looking at this game, John Paul, it's two teams that are in contention to win this region, go to the playoffs. Right now, Pinecrest 2-0, Mount Paran 1-1, looking to even that record with Pinecrest and put themselves in the driving seat.
Right, definitely. It's still anybody's region at this point of the season. That's the important thing to remember. And not in the sense that we don't know who the strong teams are. We know who the strong teams are. It's just a lot of the scores that we see, like, for example, Pinecrest against Walker, where I don't think the score told the whole story. And I think a lot of these, some of what we think are weaker teams so far in the season, can beat a stronger team on any given Friday night. And so it's really still anybody's region.
And looking at Pinecrest, after losing their first game of the year to South Forsyth, 3 straight wins, been very dominant. The defense has been great last 3 games. Offense starting to come along. What have you seen out of Pinecrest that's really gotten them rolling these last 3 games?
I see a really strong defense and an offense that can take control when they need to. They may lack a little bit of consistency throughout the game, but when it's crunch time and when they need to score, those seniors can lead this offense and really turn up the tempo and get it going.
And looking at Mount Paran, 3-1, haven't lost in over a month, beat Kings Ridge dominantly last week, 42-7. This is only their second road game of the season. An excited crowd, you know, both teams filling out the bleachers. How does this road game kind of mess with that mojo that they've had winning 3 in a row?
Well, when you have a road game, and I'll talk about it from the home team's perspective, it's a huge advantage when you have, the home fans cheering, and little specific things like changes in depth perception when you're looking at certain areas of the field.
Yep.
And we saw that, I don't remember the Tennessee-Virginia Tech game in college football. They played in that NASCAR stadium, and quarterbacks complained like we couldn't, the depth perception was different. So little details like that, all the way up to being at home between the pines. How great is that? And so when you're the away team, this makes it really tough. There's so many different variables that you can't replicate back at home.
And in talking to Coach Winter this week, we got our keys to the game presented by Bill Kiernan, certified financial planner. And defensively, this is a defense last week that had to stop a dynamic quarterback in Jacob Sendoya. Did a lot of things running, passing. They did a very nice job holding him to his lowest totals of the year. Ryan McCarthy did a great job spying him. This week, very different. It's power football, and you really have to control the edge.
Right, you got to control the edge, and especially the inside, too, that run game. This might be one of those games that goes by really fast. The clock always running. Just run the football. It's going to be up to Nolan Stafford, Alan Adav, guys like Stone Brown on the Pinecrest defensive line, who are really going to have to close up those gaps and stop Mount Paran's powerful running offense. And this really takes some pressure off of the Paladins offense.
Defensively, Coach Winter, talked about, although they are a run-heavy team, we can't fall asleep defensively. The corners, they're going to be playing tight. They have to read those tight ends and communicate on passing situations.
Right, and as we can see throughout this season so far, Pinecrest only runs a cover 3 type defense, which normally leaves the middle between the linebacker and the safeties open. If the linebackers have hook curl zone and the safeties got deep. So it's really up to the corners like Daniel Duke and Carson Holler as safety to communicate, make sure that those seam routes are still covered and really just cover the complete field.
And offensively, they got to keep the train rolling, can't turn the ball over. Coach Winter said turnovers are unacceptable as Stuart Jeans tees it up, and it bounces past the return from Mount Paran. Fields it at the 2-yard line, coming upfield, and he's going to be tripped up. Nice tackle downfield to start the game inside the 15-yard line. That was number 10 for the Paladins, Hogan Palmer. On the return for the Eagles, number 2, Jake Wilson.
Hogan Palmer just kept his lane, and Coach Winter always preaches field position, especially at this level of football. Very important and a great way to start the game.
So ball will start on the 11-yard line. The kick was a low line drive, skipped. Looked like Wilson kind of misread the skip. You talk about the depth perception, playing on this grassy Mount Paran. They got a turf stadium, so this grass is definitely something that's going to be a little bit different for them as they'll come out on offense. Saw multiple quarterbacks last week. Looks like the first quarterback is going to be number 9, Jared Knox for the Eagles. And they're going to readjust their set. And it is Knox in the backfield, and a whistle's blown. And we'll see what the call is in a delay game to start the game. So the Eagles lose 5 yards before they even run their first play.
Oh, that's big and helpful to the Paladin defense, obviously, get some more yards for them. But also looked like the defense wasn't quite set. It looked like Mount Paran was about to get ready to go. Really kind of helped out the defense in more than one way right there.
Jared Knox, one of 3 different quarterbacks that played for the Eagles last week. 2 rushing touchdowns in their win over Kings Ridge as he adjusts the line again, and Pinecrest will adjust with him, get to the strength. It's going to be a handoff and not a lot of room. Nice job clogging up the middle by that Paladin defense, just like Coach Winter wanted.
Yeah, exactly what Coach Winter wanted. And the run game to me it's the purest form of football. That's what started it. So if many successful teams, whether it be a college or pro, you got to have a well-established run game. And that means you have to have a well-established run defense. And the Paladins get off to a great start with that.
Jack Allen on that last carry for Mount Paran. So now an empty backfield as they spread it out for Knox. Looks like he'll power run. He does. Finds a little room with a pulling guard and dragged down. Looks like Carson Holler cleaned it up. And it'll bring up 3rd down and about 7 for this Eagle offense. Jared Knox doing a nice job patiently waiting for that hole to open up.
Patient waiting for the hole. And this Paladin defense is exactly what you want. These 3rd and 7 situations, 3rd and long. And it's really having momentum on your side and the field position inside their own 20. It's a big play right here.
So in at quarterback now, looks like it's number 14, Kyle Terry, for more of a pass situation, although he'll keep it and cannot make enough men miss. As nice gang tackling, Carson Holler came in and cleaned up the Corey Downs first contact. So a punt situation here.
Yeah, and we see a lot of these defensive backs for the Paladins also getting involved in stopping the run game. That's what it's going to take. Your whole team has to contribute. That's why there are 11 players in the field. Everyone's got to play 100%.
So already 2 different quarterbacks for Mount Paran. Back deep to punt for the Eagles. It's number 3, Jackson McLarty. Coach Winter talked about a strong kicking game that Mount Paran had, and we see a nice punt there as Holler's going to field at the 42. Look to find some room. Gets upfield, coming to the left sideline, and he's going to be dragged down. Tackled by number 7, Holt Shannon.
Carson Holler, big time punt returner for this Paladin team. Last year he had quite a few punt returns for touchdowns, and he had a couple of them big times in the game. And it's just another one of those phases, one of the 3 phases that you need to win at.
Yes. And you talk about it, Coach Winter's always talking about field position, especially at high school. Get a nice stop, with good job with the kickoff, 3 and out, field position 5 yards away from your side of the field. So McCarthy under center. He'll have Baroses and Hollers as A-backs. Looks like it's going to be Binkley in the backfield. And coming in motion, it's Holler, and it's going to be a handoff to Binkley. He's going to bull his way forward, pick up about 4 yards, and maybe be just about an inch shy of the 50-yard line. Nope, put the nose of the football on it, 50-yard line. So they start inside early last week. Baroses had a lot of room on the outside early in the game and then late in the game in that 2-minute drive that led to the game-winning field goal from Stuart Jeans. As Pinecrest came from behind to beat Mount Pisgah last week 17-14. To remain unbeaten in the region, 2-0. McCarthy takes the snap. He's going to keep it, gets out to the edge, tries to cut upfield, and he'll gain a few yards. Wrestled down there by number 24 for the Eagles, Jackson Reese.
And you're talking about how the offense kind of went last game. And we talk about how the Paladin defense had to defend Sendoya. But think of Pisgah. They had to defend Broses on the outside. They had to defend Hunter Hawk and Brooks Binkley on the inside. And then towards the end of the game, they also had to defend Ryan McCarthy throwing it through the air. And so it's on both sides. It's really hard to play defense against teams like this.
Coach Winter takes a quick timeout. That'll give us a chance to take a look at our coach close-ups presented by Haynes Sports Medicine. Coach Winter in his 5th year here for the Paladins picked up his 30th win with the Paladins last week. Coached college level Division III and 10-2 last year. Obviously, we talk about it. These guys run through a brick wall. They love Coach Winter. Leading Mount Paran, it's Coach Mitch Jordan. And Coach Jordan's done a nice job with this program. very successful. Certainly a team that challenges Pinecrest every year. Last year 10-2, so the exact same record as Pinecrest. So this is a game that's going to be a litmus test for both. Big win against Pisgah last week, but you can't, this can't be a hangover. You can't dwell on the past. You got to be ready for this game.
Right, no, especially early in the region schedule. If you get complacent, as Coach Winter likes to say, take your foot off the gas, you're going to lose games, and that just defeats the whole purpose of winning early.
So ball on the 47-yard line, 3rd and 3 here. Paladins coming out of a timeout. McCarthy's got Corey down, split out wide to his left. Holler's going to come in motion. It's going to be a midline. McCarthy keeps. He's going to try to get to the edge, getting chased by 3 Eagles. He's not going to get there, and is that going to be a late hit for throwing him out of bounds? They won't call it, but McCarthy using his speed to get to the edge. First down on a 7-yard carry from McCarthy.
McCarthy's such a big part of this offense with his dual threat. He can throw it very far, as we've seen before, like especially against Walker, and he's got that speed and the power. So really it's a triple threat to this Mount Paran defense.
Only 27 yards rushing last week from McCarthy, but throwing the football well, 5-8 last week over his last 2 games. Throwing the football. McCarthy 8 of 14, 194 yards, 3 touchdowns. So the passing game definitely coming into this triple option offense, and they're going to keep it on the ground, though, as Binkley gets it, stood up, keeps his feet moving. He'll pick up about a yard there.
And 194 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's great stats, especially for a quarterback in a triple option offense. It's just another facet that Coach Winter can look at defenses and say, okay, I'm going to call this play. And he has that freedom, that confidence in that passing game with the kind of consistency that he can really count on.
Well, and you talk about that confidence. We saw the passing game come into play big and late in the 4th quarter last week. Couple seam routes down the middle, then the big slant tied the game up. So McCarthy throwing the ball well. So far kept it on the ground all night. They'll do it again. McCarthy keeps it, looking to get out to the edge, and tripped up there. Tackled by number 30 for the Eagles, Bo Stallings, but a late penalty comes in right around the line of scrimmage, so we'll wait to see what this call is from the official. 8:06 on the clock, still scoreless here in Forsyth County. Thanks for tuning in on Pinecrest Academy Football, presented by SUVtv. Alongside John Paul Hoover, I'm Ned Case. We await the call from the official. Flag came in late. McCarthy picked up a few yards, and it's going to be a hold against Mount Paran. So a defensive hold was called. So that's an interesting defensive hold on a run situation. Pass play, you see that, but not so much on the run play. But first down for the Paladins nonetheless.
Yeah, really strange calls, but yeah, like I said, the run play. But that's football. You're going to have to
That's football.
to obey the rules no matter run or pass play.
So first down, ball on the 28-yard line. Paladins looking to drive it in after getting a 3-and-out stop from the defense. Eagle defense will look to stand tall. As the crowd livens up, let's go Pinecrest chant. McCarthy keeps it, getting to the outside of the edge, cuts his foot up ground. He's at the 20, trying to make a man miss, does stiff arm, and he'll duck out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Ryan McCarthy with a very impressive run.
Very impressive run. He's one of those seniors who can really get going when he needs to, and he can lead the offense when he needs to, or he can just take control like he did right there.
You see it here on the replay. McCarthy faking the dive. Howard doing a nice job getting to the edge, and McCarthy just puts his foot in the ground. We talk about he has that speed, he has the power. If he's got a lane, he's going to take advantage of it. Stiff arms a guy,
right,
and ducks out of bounds.
Yeah, we saw some great perimeter blocking on that play too. Doesn't have to be a big block, as long as you just get the edge of him and give Ryan a lane to run through.
McCarthy out to Baroses quickly, but he is hawked down. Nice defense there from the Eagles, Jared Knox. Seeing Knox on both sides of the field so far.
And if you're going to stop Michael Baroses, that's how you're going to have to stop him. Way in the backfield, as we see on this replay. Doesn't have a chance to get outside and turn on that speed that he's without a doubt the quickest player on this team.
And nice job there by this Eagle defense to flow into the football. I'm sure they saw the film last week of how much Baroses did get to the edge. So we'll see if they can take advantage of that with maybe some counter plays, some trap plays, get the defense flowing towards Baroses' direction. We'll see what they do here. Coach Winter's offense behind the sticks here on second down, and there is a little end around as it goes to Holler. He tries to break the tackle, hanging on to the ankles for the Eagles. That was number 16, Drake Harris.
Looked like Holler, if he had broken that little ankle tackle right there, had one guy to beat on the outside, that could have been a touchdown.
So ball is at the 19-yard line, 3rd and long here for this Paladin offense. We haven't seen him throw the football. This would be the time. Holler split out wide as a wide receiver to the left. Don't see this a lot. So we'll see if he's going to be a target as Ale comes in at the A-back for him. And it is going to be a quick throw out to Holler. He's going to try to get upfield, stiff arms the guy, and down to the 15-yard line. So he'll still be short. We'll see if Coach Winter sends Stuart Jeans out there, and he will.
We saw Stuart Jeans, the hero of last game, making the big-time field goal. And that's pretty much all he needs to do this season to get the respect and the favoritism of these games. You know, it's great, a great opportunity for him last game. You know, a new player to football, and to have an experience like that, got to give him a lot of confidence.
And running on late for Pinecrest, it's number 70, Jackson Mueller. And Jeans getting ready to kick. Hunter Hawk will hold. Ball spotted at the 21-yard line. Field goal is up. It looks good, and it is. Stuart Jeans puts it through. 31-yard field goal. Stuart Jeans making it look easy. 3-0.
Solid kick. That's all you can ask for out of your kicker. Just deep, right down the middle. Great kick.
A lot of height on it. Got it over the line. And,
a lot of height. That's,
you know, last week we were saying, Jeans, you know, he's a soccer player, right? He's not a field goal kicker. Well, he's looking like a field goal kicker his last 2 kicks.
He's looking a lot more like a field goal kicker throughout this season. It gives Coach a lot of confidence in this kicking game, something that he didn't have a lot throughout last season when the kicking unit was kind of just being switched out a lot. And now you got a solid kicking team, and that's great. That's great in that 3rd phase.
As we got a little excitement here as the 2 student bodies are going back and forth a little bit, so the atmosphere is certainly what you want out of Friday nights as Jeans tees it up for his 2nd kickoff of the night. 5:32 remaining in the first quarter. 3-0 Paladins just drove downfield. Got the ball about the 45-yard line, got down to the 15. Penalty really hurt him there. Or excuse me, not the penalty, but the nice play by the Eagle defense to get Barozas behind the line. But a field goal nonetheless as Jeans puts a foot into it, and it will be fielded at the 1-yard line. Coming up field, it is Wilson. He's looking for a seam, got a little bit of a seam, but Daniel Duke popped right in that running lane. Took him down to the ground. Nice return as the ball will start at the 29-yard line for this Eagle offense.
Yeah, that field position battle. Coach Winter said you don't have to give up a lot of yards on a kickoff to have a bad field. Like, if you're the kickoff team, you can't afford to give up just even more than 10 yards. It's really important to get down there, and it's easier on punts because you get the ball a little higher off the ground. But still, nonetheless, important on kickoffs and punts. And that's Stuart Jeans again coming into effect. He's booting the ball downfield.
And at quarterback, it's number 14 again, Kyle Terry. He's going to roll out to his left and overthrows his intended target. His intended target was Nathaniel Reeder.
Had more than a couple guys open on that play. If he'd maybe set his feet, taken a little time, could have hurt the defense. And
you have to wonder if the shuffling of quarterbacks for Coach Jordan in this Eagle offense, you know, it's tough to get in a rhythm, you know, so that may be part of it. Terry's taken 2 snaps now. Knox has taken 2. We haven't even seen Nico Van Grilli, who threw for a touchdown and rushed for a touchdown last week at quarterback. But it's going to be Terry again. He's going to run right to his left. Soon he takes a snap, finds a little running room. Hunter Hawk knocks the ball loose. Ball's on the ground. Recovered. Looked like Alan Yadav got in there for the Paladins. Hunter Hawk chasing the ball down, punched it loose, and jumping on it. Excuse me, that was number 52, not 62. So Nolan Stafford with the fumble recovery.
That's Hunter Hogg with the strip. And just that's fantastic because that's something that, as you can see in the replay, this comes up right behind him. And
excuse me, it was Alan Yadav, it looked like on the recovery there, as we can see on the replay. Too many twos jumping around. Nolan Stafford, wish he got credit with that one.
And when it's stripping the ball, that's such an experienced move. And to see a young player like Hunter Hawk doing that, that's really impressive.
McCarthy to Binkley on the dive, picks up 3 yards. So Hunter Hawk with a forced fumble early in this game.
Turnovers. They decide football games. And especially at this level where it's all about momentum and emotion. It can really get a team down if you turn it over. And obviously vice versa. Now Paladins got momentum on their side, up 3-0, looking good.
Pinecrest looking for back-to-back scores, looking for this one to be 6 instead of 3 as the defensive line for the Eagles shifts right. McCarthy and the offense don't look phased. It's going to be McCarthy out to Holler quick, and he's going to try to stiff arm a guy. Gets to the edge, down the sideline. Ooh, nice little move on the sideline to get back in bounds. Picked up about 4 extra yards, but a lot of running for only a net of about 3-4 yards on that run by Holler.
Only net about 3 or 4 yards. We saw it right there in the replay. That's the importance of perimeter blocking. Broses just could have gotten that guy back there. Carson could have cut it up a little on a sharper angle and got a little more field. But it's tough because the guys out there, their primary responsibility is not blocking. They're out there for speed, their skill positions. So it's just all about that strategy and finding the best players for the right responsibilities.
Tight formation here for the Paladins. No one split out. It's going to be a midline. McCarthy keeps it and gets to the 31-yard line. He's going to be short. Bring up a 4th and just a few. So we'll see. I'm sure Coach Winter trusts his offense and his senior leader, Ryan McCarthy, at quarterback.
Right, you trust your offense, but you also trust your defense. I mean, forcing a turnover on downs and then a turnover consecutively, it gives you more confidence in them, and that translates over the offense.
So 4th and 3 ball on the 31-yard line. McCarthy under center, tight formation. Barozas goes in motion. It's a quick pitch out to Barozas. Holler gets a nice block on the edge. Barozas first down and more. Down the sideline, cuts inside, and dragged down at the 7-yard line. Michael Barozas, that quickness, you see it. He gets to the edge, he puts that foot in the ground, and he's like a rocket shooting up the sideline.
Just so quick, and from our perspective,
flag on the play, though, so we'll see what the call is. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No problem.
We see on the replay, let's see if we can see on the edge. Is there going to be a hold call? Looks like Downs maybe got a little too much jerseys there, but nice run by Barozas. Yeah, we'll see if that'll wipe it out.
And from our perspective, it looks like Barozas is kind of going nowhere, going down the sideline, but when he turns up, you really see how fast he's going. It's so quick. Such a valuable part of this offense.
So it will be a hold, bringing up a 4th and a little longer, and looks like with that decision, Coach Winter is going to send the punt team out there, play that field position battle, and like you just talked about, trust in your defense. Trust your defense is going to get a quick 3 and out, give you that short field to work with again.
Right, and that's what it's all about, heading into the end of the first quarter here, and Mount Paran had the defense really, Pinecrest defense really haven't allowed Mount Paran to do much, and that's really good so far.
2:30 and counting on the clock in the first quarter. McCarthy punt off the right foot. Nice high punt. No one back deep for the Eagles. If they can find it, it's going to be a really nice punt, and it takes a little bit of an Eagles roll. Daniel Duke does a nice job down in the football inside the 10. So another long field for this Eagle offense to drive if they want to get some points on the board. So far, Paladins defense doing a really nice job. This is an Eagles offense that ran for over 300 yards last week. 11 different guys carried the ball. So this defense has to do a great job, dominating the gaps and also identifying all the different guys who can carry the ball.
Right, and carry the ball. And this is a quarterback, 3 or 4 different quarterbacks. It's on the offensive side, it's hard to get in a rhythm.
And it's Van Grilly this time in at quarterback. So now we've seen 3 quarterbacks in a quarter. He hands it off to Jack Allen.
Now, like I said, it's hard to get in the rhythm on the offensive side, but it's also hard to get in a rhythm on the defensive side. When you got a new guy coming in, you don't know what to expect. And he could be fast, he could be powerful. That just makes it harder for the defense. 11 different ball carriers. That's insane.
When you talk about the quarterbacks coming in and out, shuffling in and out, I'm sure Coach Winter and the coaching staff has a game plan for each quarterback, but the players have to be sure they identify any time a quarterback switches. But it's going to be Van Grilly again. He's going to throw right-handed quarterback, finds a man in the middle on a sit-down route. It's number 7, Holt Shannon, and Shannon is going to be a little bit short. We'll see on the spot, as it looks like the far side official has him at the 18-yard line.
That's one of those routes that the rule's not like you can't touch them outside of 5 yards. So you just go right past 5 yards, so you back off, and then it'll cut right back. And that's just an easy completion. Pretty hard to defend that, not much you can do.
Nice move by Shannon after caught the football, made a guy miss, and they will give him the first down after that. So the chains get moved, and the Eagles have their first down of the evening with 90 seconds on the clock. Again, it's Nico Van Grilly, the freshman at quarterback, 6'2", 180. Good-looking freshman out there. And he's going to hand it off, and not a lot of room. Cutback lane, Holler cuts down the runner. That was 21, Chandler Weber. And not only does the defense have to identify all the different ball carriers, we got to identify all the different ball carriers up here. It seems like a new guy. Got to look down at the roster. I feel like I'm finally getting a rhythm down, and Coach Mitch Jordan throwing in a different ball carrier at me. You see here on the replay, that was Chandler Weber. It was clogged up, did a nice job cutting back. Carson Holler there to cut him down. So second and short here for Van Grilly. He's going to catch it and attack, but a whistle's blown. Nope, not Van Grilly. That's Knox in at quarterback.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to see who's playing here.
He may play more quarterbacks and wide receivers tonight. 48 seconds on the clock, and that was on the Eagles. Did not see the penalty, but it'll back up Mount Paran. So 2nd and 8 here for Mount Paran. Clock's running, so we'll have at least one more play in this first quarter here as the Eagles look to get that ball over midfield, put together a drive.
Yeah, that's really what you need at this point. In the first quarter, not only no points, but almost no yardage. That's really important.
And another flag comes in. And pre-whistle will be a false start once again on Mount Paran. So Mount Paran shooting themselves in the foot with penalties certainly doesn't help when you're inside your own 20 and getting all these penalties.
No, it definitely doesn't help. We saw some frustration from multiple players on that offense, and that's you getting in their head. They're getting in their own heads right there. They're making it easy for the defense, like these first few drives.
So clock continues to run as we close in on this first quarter of action here in Forsyth County. Pinecrest leads 3-0, under 10 seconds. We'll see if Knox gets a snap off here. They look pretty patient. Don't seem to be in any hurry. And as the clock ticks down to 0, no snap. And that'll bring the first quarter of play here to an end. So after 12 minutes, a score, Pinecrest 3, Mount Paran 0. Thanks for tuning in here on Pinecrest Academy Football, presented by SUVtv.
This Pinecrest Academy football broadcast is brought to you by Billy Howe Ford, family owned and operated since 1977. Atlanta Rehabilitation and Performance Center, official provider for the Paladins. Team physician, Hain Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Foresight, dedicated to all better.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Welcome back to Forsyth County, Georgia. And Pinecrest Academy Football presented by SUVtv. I'm Ned Case alongside John Paul Hoover. We're between the Pines as a 2nd and 13 to start the second quarter for Mount Paran. And it's going to be Knox on a little end around play. Binkley's there, drags down the running back. Can't, makes a man miss. It's number 14, Kyle Terry. We've seen him do a lot of things tonight, and he gets upfield. A late flag comes in. He's taken down at the 25-yard line. Jack Binkley doing a nice job getting on the edge, just couldn't quite drag down Terry. And there you see it, 2 quarterbacks on the field at the same time for this Eagle offense. We'll see what the flag is. It was downfield right about where Terry got tackled, and it's going to be holding on Mount Paran. So penalties have really been the story of the first quarter for Mount Paran.
They really have, and every advantage they seem to get is immediately just cut down by these penalties. And Jack Binkley, again, getting to the edge. Some say that the art of tackling in football has taken a toll because with all these spread offense and stuff, guys are really just focusing on speed and power and getting to the guy. And it's really, really hard to break down and tackle, but you got to do it. It's a huge part of football.
Knox throws it out wide, finds his receiver Nathaniel Reeder, and a flag comes in. Again, we'll see what this flag is. As a quick sit route out to Reeder. Caught in space, got upfield for a first down. We'll see if this flag again is on Mount Paran. If it is, I'm sure Coach Jordan's frustration is real, but it's going to be a personal foul on personal foul on Pinecrest after the whistle. We saw a couple. We've seen a couple of those throughout the year, and you talk about emotion being a big part of it, and it doesn't hurt you so bad here. But we saw it last week. It could have hurt them in some tough situations.
Right, definitely could have hurt them. And some people say, "Oh, if you don't get a personal foul, you aren't playing it right." No, and it's Coach Winter said it so many times. Penalties are unacceptable, especially personal fouls. There's no need for them in football.
So Knox on a carry. And did that ball come out? It didn't. Nice job coming down the line there. Looked like that may have been number 81, Wills Brown. But you see it when Mount Paran tries to run the football. The defense does a nice job of just clogging it up. And Coach Winter said on our call this week, he wants that to look like, coming down 85 right at Spaghetti Junction, right? It's just a log jam. There's nowhere to go. And that's exactly what Coach Winter wants. And you see a nice job there. But the second part of that Coach Winter touched on is linebackers have to flow to the football. They got to get through the mess, find a way to make a tackle. Did a nice job there, bring up a 2nd and 10. So Knox again runs a little speed option. He's got Weber out to his left, and there he is. Brooks Binkley meets Knox head on, drags him down for a gain of 1.
We saw that speed option right there. That's the kind of assignment football that a defense needs to play in order to stop this kind of offense that can go multiple directions and pass to multiple people. And that's just great assignment football. We saw 3 Paladins there to stop wherever he could have gone, and now it forced him into another 3rd and long.
Brooks Binkley with a nice tackle there. So 3rd and 8 here for this offense. Terry comes in at quarterback. He's thrown the football a few times. He'll hand it off, though, to Weber. Not a lot of places to go for Weber, and he'll lose 3 yards as the Paladin defense and their green-on-green uniforms were all over him.
That's one of those plays where the defensive line just completely burst through, as we can see here. And it's one of those plays where, as you can see, just
low man wins.
Guys immediately, exactly. The leverage right there. It's just great technique, and that's one of those plays where the guy gets a tackle behind the line, but you get assists from defensive linemen that just appear there. When a runner sees a guy there, he's going to run the opposite direction.
And Pinecrest is going to call a timeout. And while we have a moment, as a certified financial planner, Pinecrest Academy family member Bill Kiernan brings the professional certification that provides peace of mind that you will receive sound advice for your financial planning needs. Bill provides safe money strategies. Whether you're looking to participate in market gains or avoid costly money management fees to grow your wealth, Bill can provide support and guidance. Follow the lead of many of your friends at Pinecrest and call Bill at 678-776-4592 to learn what he can do for you. You can rest assured that following safe money strategies with Bill can provide the asset growth that you desire. So as we come back from that timeout, 2 timeouts used here early by Coach Winter, so they're down to 1 with 9:35 remaining in the second quarter. And Holler's going to jog off. Usually he returns the punts, but his right arm is kind of hanging. So McCarthy, the quarterback, is back deep to return. We saw Sendoya, the quarterback, last week returning punts. So it'll be the Paladins' chance, and McCarthy looked anxious to return it, but wisely lets it roll. A good punt, though, off the leg of number 3 for the Eagles, Jackson McClarty.
A great punt right there. And inside their own 10. That's fantastic job by Paladin special teams.
So the offense will come back out here. Ball on the 10-yard line.
Excuse me, said Paladins, but it doesn't. Mount Paran special teams. That's a good punt by them.
Yes.
That was not good by the Paladins. We all have those little slip-ups.
Little tongue twister there.
Little tongue twister.
So here we go. McCarthy leads the offense out on the field, up 3-0 already. And it's going to be a pitch out to the edge. It's Burroughs is trying to get to the edge. And a nice tackle there by the Eagles defender. That was Davis Stevens, the junior.
It looks like these 2 rush defenses from both sides are really taking care of business so far. It's not a lot going on, but again, when you're having a running game, when you're prioritizing the run game, you don't expect a lot out of every play, but still, these defenses really knowing their assignments, doing their job, executing the plays.
Flowing to the football quick, especially out to the edge with Burroughs. Mount Paran showing a little more speed than Pisgah had last week, getting to the edge rushes. So after that loss of 5, it'll bring up 2nd and 15. Ball on the 3-yard line. Got to be careful here. And a whistle. And looks like Mount Paran's going to call a timeout, and we'll take a quick timeout with them here on Pinecrest Academy Football, presented by SUVtv. The score, Pinecrest 3, Mount Paran 0.
If you want a used vehicle, but you also want peace of mind, you want a Ford certified pre-owned vehicle. Because every Ford CPO vehicle is given a rigorous 172-point inspection by Ford factory-trained technicians. From the radiator to the transmission, to the engine, to the air conditioning. And every Ford CPO vehicle is backed by Ford. With 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty coverage. Plus 12-month, 12,000-mile limited warranty coverage. Ford certified pre-owned. A car that's inspected by Ford and backed by Ford. So what does that mean to you? Relax, it's covered.
On the 3-yard line, Ryan McCarthy under center, 2nd and 15 here for the Paladins. He's going to drop back to pass in his end zone, goes deep, and Holler overthrows him by about 2 yards. Carson Holler trying to get past his man. McCarthy threw the football a little before Holler looked ready.
And he wasn't past his man, but obviously at that point, you'd rather be overthrown than underthrown when you had 2 guys there who could have been an interception. Ryan McCarthy, I've noticed throughout the past few games, he's the kind of quarterback that needs to throw a lot in order to get into a rhythm, but once he gets into that rhythm, he's almost unstoppable. He can, for a quick slant route or a long, deep route, really, really good on him.
Certainly has the arm strength. We saw last week as he zipped one into Downs in the end zone late in their win over Pisgah. It's going to be a throw again from McCarthy. This time he rolls to his right. Pressure, throwing it upfield, and is it caught? They're going to say it is caught. Carson Holler digging that ball out on the Pinecrest sideline. Tough to see from up here in the press box what happened. We'll see if we can get it here on the replay. As it happened right in front of the bench. A lot of action in the way you see Holler here. McCarthy rolling out. Holler just working to the sideline. A good throw. It looked like Holler got there.
Yeah, hard to see with the sideline right there, but it looked like a good catch.
And after the whistle, it's going to call a personal foul, roughing the passer. So Holler makes a big play. They get a free 15 after that. And this drive kind of stuck on the 3-yard line. Looked like it might be a punt situation. Now they're moving.
Again, these Paran penalties are just gifts. Gifts. This over and over. Just the Paladins just, and no matter if they're having a tough time or as a great catch we're seeing there, they're still getting those bonus penalty yards. And Mount Paran wants to stay in this game. They really got to take control of that.
Ball up to the Paladins' 39-yard line. 1st and 10 here for McCarthy in the offense. Addison Allen, today back, is Holler not in the game right now. Brooks Binkley in the backfield. Barozas takes just about every snap as we don't see him as much on defense. So McCarthy under center. 8:12 on the clock. It's going to be a give to Binkley. He's going to bull forward, pick up 2 yards. So 2nd and 8.
That's all you need. That's all you need on this trip.
I was going to say, this 3 yards in a cloud of dust football, you know, it's definitely boring, but so far it seems like running between the tackles has been a little more successful than getting to the edge.
Right, it really has, and that's different with every team. We see them have more success in the pass game against teams like Walker, but running this much, it opens up a lot of more offensive plays and formation that you can go into.
McCarthy keeps it, and he is met right away. Number 26 in on the tackle. That was Connor Henkel.
And just like that, an instant momentum change right there. And Ryan McCarthy, a good decision to hold it. You saw him, as we can see in the replay, like he looked like he was about to pitch it out, and a younger player might have. But the experience that he has knows that can only turn out in a horrific way. When you have a guy standing right in front of the pitch man. Your face
when you just said horrific was like, oh no, don't do it. So 3rd and 13 here for McCarthy. Let's see if he gets another opportunity to throw it. He does. Sets his feet, throws it to the sideline, and just out of the reach of Corey Downs, who was right at the sticks. So a likely punt situation coming up here for the Paladins. And it will be a punt, so Wills Brown will come out to snap it deep to McCarthy. Jack Binkley's the up back. We have seen one fake this year on this field. Let's see if we see another one. Back deep for the Eagles, it's number 7, Holt Shannon. And McCarthy gets a nice right-footed punt on. Fair catch called by Shannon. He handles it at the 29-yard line. And that's where this offense will start their drive. Multiple quarterbacks so far we've seen tonight. Driven the ball, you know, a little bit, but nothing that's been a real threat. This Paladin defense played really nice so far.
Right, they played really nice, and I'm sure they've been practicing all week long. Stop that run game. And it's really in the first half of these football games where you see the practice come into effect. In the second half, it's more about making adjustments to the game you're already in, but really just clogging up the lanes, clogging up gaps, and guys like Nolan Stafford is really getting pressure.
Nick Van Garilli in at quarterback. He's going to throw it. Looking at the corner route. Got his big man downfield. And Daniel Duke had his hand up there. Knocked the pass away. That was intended for big ol' number 40. That's Jordan Ginter. 5'10", 190. Excuse me.
That's one
generous.
One of those things that Coach Winter was talking about, the communication between defensive backs. Covering the tight end, not just the wide receivers. And we can see in the replay here, Duke getting really nice coverage on him.
You see him get his hand right in there, maybe just enough to break that pass off. It's going to be a quick run here. It's Allen trying to get to the edge, and he's going to be stopped just short. Jack Allen on that carry. Jack Allen last week, big week, 11 carries, 116 yards and a touchdown. So Allen's a guy who can be explosive out of the backfield. Cam Moore last week had 61 yards and a touchdown. We haven't seen him yet tonight. Talked about 11 different ball carriers last week in their win.
Yeah, just one of those things, hard to defend.
Then they stay fresh. You know, the defense gets tired tackling, and then they got fresh legs coming in. So Knox here in at quarterback, 3rd and 5. Knox is going to keep it, pulls it from the running back's belly, and he's not going to get it. Wills Brown was in there on the tackle to drag him down. It'll bring up a 4th and short. Ball on the 37-yard line.
Interesting to see the call here.
You would think they'd punt it the way this game's played out. And it looks like that's just a decision that Coach Jordan will make as he sends out Jackson McClarty, who had a nice punt last time. And again, McCarthy back deep. Carson Holler usually deep. We see him on the sideline here. So looking like his right arm was a little banged up earlier. Looks fine now. McClarty, and a nice punt that's going to bounce on the 29-yard line and die right there. So a nice punt, didn't get much of a bounce, and the Paladins will start that drive. 29-yard line, 5:04 remaining here in the second quarter. You're watching Pinecrest Academy Football presented by SUVtv. John Paul, time for this offense to get the ball going, get the train rolling, and punch one in here. In 5 minutes, this is almost that perfect triple option drive, 4 or 5 minutes, burn that clock out, punch one in, take momentum going into the half.
Oh, it was a perfect situation for a triple option offense. Maybe a little passes speckled in there a little bit, maybe get this offense going. As we saw in the past couple games, the pass really gets the offense going.
John Paul, man, you love the pass out of the triple option. You're always calling for it. I love it. We'll see if Coach Winter dials it up at all. And it's going to be a quick pitch out to Barozas, and nobody was blocking for him on the edge. Taken down there by number 1, Mikey Golfo. But we talk about that edge blocking is usually so productive for the Paladins. So far, not tonight.
Yeah, not tonight, and that could just be the team. We see a lot of big guys coming out the edge here for Mount Paran on defense, and it's really just we're talking about one-on-one blocks really out in an open space, and that's a tough play.
Second down and 11, McCarthy under center. It's going to be a little end-around play for Holler. Not a lot of space to go again. The defense is there on the edge. A flag comes in the area of holding. This defense for Mount Paran has been very impressive against this triple option, getting 2 and 3 guys out to the edge on those pitch plays.
Right, and it's dangerous when your primary form of offense cannot get going, especially at this point in the game.
And a hold there doesn't help anything for the Paladins. That'll back them up further, although it looks like Mount Paran will decline that penalty and bring up a 3rd and long here. 4:15 on the clock, so this is a likely passing situation unless you want to play conservative. So we'll see if McCarthy can complete his second pass of the night and keep this drive alive for the Paladins. Roses comes in motion. McCarthy is going to throw, rolls out to his right, has some time, sets his feet, throws it deep downfield. He's got downs behind the defense. And a nice defensive play there by Davis Stevens, getting his hand in there. And it looks like that throw was just about 2 steps too late, and McCarthy was trying to get to the edge. I did a nice job sealing. We can see it on the replay. Sets his feet, but it looks like just a second too long. He held on to that football, but very nice defense by Stevens. Can't take anything away from him. Got his hand up there, knocked it away from Brown.
Yeah, great defense there. Downs could have had it, but that's a tough catch.
Yeah, would have really had to go up and get it.
Really, he would have had to.
So McCarthy, the right-footed quarterback and punter, kicks it deep. It looks like it could take a nice bounce, and it does. And that will roll inside the 30. It'll land right at the 30. So Ryan McCarthy with a nice punt, getting the ball to go from 130 to the other with a 40-yard punt.
Ryan McCarthy, again, he does everything. He could play every position on the field, and he really leads this team. He's not selfish about it, which is a great thing. He doesn't always take all the credit. He doesn't try to take too much control of situations, but when he needs to lead the team in multiple positions on offense, defense, special teams, he can do it, and that's exactly what a coach needs. Just 1 or 2 players who can really do that.
So we'll see if the senior Jared Knox can lead this Mount Paran offense into the red zone and a scoring opportunity as he hands it off to Terry. And Addison Ale doing a nice job shedding his block and making the tackle.
And if your defensive play caller, there's nothing you want to see more than a player take on a block and make a tackle. That's a dream come true. If everybody can do that throughout the game, you have a solid defense.
Certainly makes it a lot easier to stop the other team.
Yeah.
So here we go. Knox again in the backfield. He's joined by the running back, Chandler Weber. And it's going to be Terry in motion, but Knox is going to keep it. And nowhere to go, clogged up. First guy there at the bottom of the pile. Looked like it was Alan Yadav. He is slow getting up. Favoring that left leg.
You talk about the multiple quarterbacks, but when you're in defense, you can start characterizing them a little bit. We see Knox, see him going up the middle a lot more. Other guys going outside. So throughout the game, you get a sense of who they are and what they do. But still, it makes it a little harder to defend.
Knox in the gun, again joined by Weber to his left. Two receivers out wide, H back in front of him. It's going to be a quick throw out to the sideline, and it's going to be a first down. That pass was caught by number 17, Daquan Pope. And Daquan Pope, that's a big target right there. 6'2", 185.
That's hard to miss 6'2" when he's standing still like that, and he's got the power too. When he catches it, bring it down and power through 2 or 3 guys. We saw that. That's a tough play. A
good point there. Downs did a nice job coming out of his break and good contacts, but Pope, just a big receiver, strong receiver, got the 3-4 yards he needed after catch for a first down, and he'll split out again to the near side. It's Knox in the backfield. He's going to keep it, trying to get to the left side, and Binkley is there waiting for him. Knox doing a nice job of running his feet. Gain of 4.
Going back to Pope, he's an example of the fact that at this level of football, all it takes is 1 or 2 big, fast players to completely take over a game. At college and the levels above that, you see that the talent is pretty much equal when you got big-time opponents. But at this level, you got one guy who outmatches the entire defense. That's pretty hard to defend.
Knox and the Eagle offense looking to pass midfield for the first time all night, and they do keep it spinning, his feet moving. Hunter Hawk finally takes down Knox. A strong run there as 1:15 on the clock, and it looks like a timeout is called. So using their second timeout, it's Mount Paran. So John Paul, here's the situation as we see the replay here. Knox doing a nice job keeping his feet moving. Hunter Hawk just hanging on for dear life. Bring him up just a little bit short. So again, the situation, 1:15 on the clock. Pinecrest up 3-0. Got points on their opening drive, nothing since. Defense doing a really nice job. Mount Paran has an opportunity. Pat on the plus side of the field for the first time tonight. 1 timeout, 1:15. Haven't thrown the ball well. What do you think we're going to see out of this Eagle offense?
I think we're going to see, even though they haven't thrown the ball well, I see guys getting open a lot. And at this point, I think you need to take a chance. Get some points on the board. I think maybe, even if it takes 1 pass, guys are open. And that's, if the quarterback can really drop back and make a nice throw, all it takes is 1, maybe 2 passes to get in field goal range and maybe even score.
You bring up field goals, big, strong leg. Jackson McClarty for the Eagles, strong kicking game. It's Knox, he's gonna throw, looking to his left. Nobody's open, pressure in his face. It's Nolan Stafford, but he sheds him off. Rolling to his right, tucks the football, and wow. If he got that first down, that is a very impressive individual play by Knox, and he does get a first down. Knox, what a great play. Nolan Stafford looked like he had him dead to rights, had him nearly wrapped up. Knox shed him down, tucked the football, got a first down. We see it here on the replay. Stafford had him in his grasp, just couldn't quite take him down. Knox with a tough run.
He really did have him. I saw great cover by Corey Downs and Daniel Duke. They didn't bite on the fake curl, and they just kept going deep, and great defense right there.
Quick throw out to Pope. He cuts upfield. He's going to be stopped at the 28-yard line. Clock continues to run, although it'll stop momentarily for the change to set. 39.5 remaining. Only 1 timeout for this Eagle offense. Knox getting the call in from the sideline late. The official ready to blow it. Oh, the chain's late getting set. Clock starts. So Knox in the backfield. He's going to look to his right, pumps it, tucks it, and Hawk couldn't get him. Cuts up field, and finally dragged down. And Mount Paran will use their final timeout with 23 seconds remaining here in the half. Knox has been very impressive on this drive. Threw the football to Pope right there, but doing a really nice job scrambling.
Really doing a nice job
looking like
scrambling.
Sendoya from last week.
He's kind of looking like maybe a little slower version of Sendoya, but what I see Brooks Binkley really making an impact here, flowing to the ball, and a a lot of these plays, we see the replay right there, making that initial contact, and a big guy like Knox, you're going to have to just really push as hard as you can and keep your feet moving and allow other defenders to kind of swarm and make the gang tackle with you. And that's just Brooks Brinkley really making a big impact so far.
Binkley playing without that cast that we've seen him wear the last couple weeks. Sure, he feels a lot lighter running around out there.
Feels a lot lighter. It's a brave move, though. You risk a lot of things there, but you got a heart.
It's what you want out of your guys.
Exactly
what you want out of your guys. Gets a little the hair standing up just thinking about that. So 2nd and 2 here for this Eagle offense, and it's going to be Van Garillion at quarterback. And a lot of confusion for this Eagle offense coming out of the timeout. Van Garilli, he's going to look to throw. No timeouts remaining. Pressure in his face. Throws it towards the end zone. Has a man. Corey Downs with another interception. That is Corey Downs, counted with one hand, 5th interception of the year.
And he's just making plays. The kind of experience that Corey Downs has is invaluable. Just seeing the replay right here. He gets a good jump of the ball, sees where it's going before he gets anywhere near him.
And you talk about Pinecrest running that cover 3 and Downs just playing his deep third of the field, reads the ball, sees it's going to be overthrown, makes a play, and again, a heady play to take the knee, don't do anything silly, and it looks like McCarthy will just take a knee here, take us to the half, and it's only 3-0, but you have the momentum going into the half here. You force another turnover, you have the lead, and maybe more importantly, you get the ball back to start the second half here if you're Pinecrest.
Right, it's very important, especially a 3-0 game, and I think that pick really just added to your momentum, even if you didn't have it before. And I'd see a lot of, again, the score doesn't tell the whole story. A lot of variables changing in this game. It should be an interesting second half.
Stuart Jeans, 31-yard field goal, the only scoring we have through 24 minutes here between the Pines as Pinecrest leads Mount Paran 3-0 as we head into the half. We'll be back in just a few.
This Pinecrest Academy Football broadcast is brought to you by Billy Howe Ford, family owned and operated since 1977. Atlanta Rehabilitation and Performance Center, official provider for the Paladins. Team physician, Hain Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Foresight, dedicated to all pets.
If you want a used vehicle, but you also want peace of mind, you want a Ford certified pre-owned vehicle. Because every Ford CPO vehicle is given a rigorous 172-point inspection by Ford factory-trained technicians. From the radiator to the transmission, to the engine, to the air conditioning. And every Ford CPO vehicle is backed by Ford with 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty coverage. Plus 12-month, 12,000-mile limited warranty coverage. Ford certified pre-owned. A car that's inspected by Ford and backed by Ford. So what does that mean to you? Relax, it's covered.
Pinecrest Academy is a private pre-K through 12th grade Catholic school, and our mission is crystal clear: to form our students into Christian leaders who will transform society. The hallmark of a Pinecrest education is our recognition of each student as a unique child of God with special gifts and talents. We believe that God is calling these young people to lead their families, their businesses, and their communities in accordance with His teachings. We welcome those from all faith backgrounds who value excellent education. Part of our Catholic identity is respect for the inquiry of the human mind. Pinecrest Academy's approach is called integral formation. Through this unique process, we address the whole child, intellectually, humanly, spiritually, and apostolically. We also refer to these as the 4 pillars. One thing that makes Pinecrest unique is that we have gender-separated classes that begin in the 4th grade. Research proves that boys and girls learn differently. In this gender-separate environment, students feel free to explore who they are and develop their full potential. Pinecrest wholly believes that you, the parent, are the primary educator of your child. We wish to work alongside you to form them into the adults that God desires them to be. Thank you for considering our school as a partner in the development of your gifts from God.
Pinecrest Academy is a private pre-K through 12 college preparatory Catholic school. We provide an atmosphere of academic rigor and critical thinking while offering personalized attention in a Christ-centered environment of faith and reason.
Pinecrest Academy is a private pre-K through 12th grade Catholic school, and our mission is crystal clear: to form our students into Christian leaders who will transform society. The hallmark of a Pinecrest education is our recognition of each student as a unique child of God with special gifts and talents. We believe that God is calling these young people to lead their families, their businesses, and their communities in accordance with His teachings. We welcome those from all faith backgrounds who value excellent education. Part of our Catholic identity is respect for the inquiry of the human mind. Pinecrest Academy's approach is called integral formation. Through this unique process, we address the whole child, intellectually, humanly, spiritually, and apostolically. We also refer to these as the 4 pillars. One thing that makes Pinecrest unique is that we have gender-separated classes that begin in the 4th grade. Research proves that boys and girls learn differently. In this gender-separate environment, students feel free to explore who they are and develop their full potential. Pinecrest wholly believes that you, the parent, are the primary educator of your child. We wish to work alongside you to form them into the adults that God desires them to be. Thank you for considering our school as a partner in the development of your gifts from God.
Call us today at 770-888-4477 to schedule a visit to Pinecrest or visit our website, www.pinecrestacademy.org, to learn more about our award-winning school. So we're back here on Pinecrest Academy Football presented by SUVtv. Here's the final seconds tick off of halftime. I'm Ned Case alongside John Paul Hoover. John Paul, before the game, we talked about keys to the game for Pinecrest. You know, defensively, 2 big keys. You had to control the C and D gap, not give up running lanes to this team that rushed for 300 yards last week. They've done a phenomenal job of that. Not a lot of inside running at all for this Mount Paran offense. Second part defensively was corners communicating and doing a nice job of coverage. We've seen Mount Paran have success offensively with throwing the football on really just short little hit routes.
Right, and I think we have really good coverage. Gee, we got Daniel Duke making a good play in there, and we got Corey Downs obviously getting the pick right before halftime. Just play up a little more, maybe a little tight coverage. Just see how it works. Again, that's adjustments at halftime. See how it goes. You have a whole half left. Test it out. See if it works, and go from there.
And, of course, the final key to the game, execute offensively, which is something this offense has struggled to do so far in this game. Not a lot going on besides some inside runs for a couple yards and passing the football. What does this offense have to do to get back on track starting right now?
I think they need to get out to the edge more. Even when they try to get out to the edge, they're just getting stopped in the backfield. And that's not effective. You got to get that edge blocking sealed and allow guys like Micah Rose to carve how to get the edge. And as obviously we saw Pisco, a lot of success in the edge rush there. And if they can get that going in this game, I think we're in for a good second half.
Touchback off the foot of Jackson McClarty. And ball will come out to the 20-yard line for this offense led by quarterback Ryan McCarthy. He'll start with 2 receivers, 1 to each side. It'll be Downs and 21 Binkley, the younger Binkley. Brooks in the backfield at the B-back position. The defensive line shifts to the left. Roses comes in motion. It's going to be Binkley up the middle. He'll get 2 yards to start this third quarter. So we start this half with an inside run where they seem to find the most positive yards, although certainly not chunk yardage plays.
Right, and 3-0, you don't need chunk yardage right now. Just focus on grind it out. First drive of the second half. Do what you normally do. Get into rhythm.
Tight formation in this triple option as Downs comes in as an H-back just a little bit off the tight end to the right. It's going to be a handoff again to Binkley. Not a lot of room. Keeps driving his feet, but a ton of Eagles defenders right there. Looked like about 6 of them got up. Binkley at the bottom of that pile. Gain of just about 1. So bring up a 3rd and long here for this offense. Opening drive of the third quarter. this seems like a passing situation, and we've seen the passing game come to life in the second half of the last 2-3 games. So we'll see if Coach Winter lets McCarthy air this one out.
Mount Paran defense really not sure how they're going to fare against the pass. Haven't seen a lot, so should be interesting.
Down, split out wide, the only receiver. He's to the near side. It is going to be a quick pass. No time for McCarthy. He's going to be taken down, and a flag comes out. Are they going to say intentional ground, or are they going to say he was down before he threw that football? We'll see what they call as the officials confer. And we can make a call for ourselves. Looking at the replay, it looks like that right knee of McCarthy is down before he throws the football.
Yeah,
I think it should just be a sack, but they are going to call intentional grounding on McCarthy. That's a spot. It's 10 yards from the spot and a loss down. So
wow.
In this field position battle that we know Coach Winter loves, this one hurts.
Yeah, this definitely hurts. And earlier in the second half, it's kind of like a new start. It's a clean slate for both teams, and is not setting a good precedent for the rest of this half.
So McCarthy's in his end zone, ready to punt this one away. Back deep, standing at the Paladins' 44-yard line is number 7, Holt Shannon. And it's going to take a big-time Pinecrest bounce, roll over the 50 and to the 46-yard line. Ryan McCarthy, what a punt.
Fantastic punt. And it's back in the end zone like that. That's a high-pressure situation, and good block from Jack Binkley, and gets a big old punt off.
Yeah, near an over 50-yard punt. So McCarthy's had a 40-yarder to flip the field. This one, although it doesn't flip the field, it certainly makes the field a lot longer for Mount Paran to drive instead of starting in plus territory.
Right, and that's just that mentality again. It's an emotional game, and a lot of times that mentality misconstrues things you actually see, so it's very important.
Jared Knox in at running back, hands it off up the middle, a lot of room, he's not going to get caught. It looks like it's Jack Allen down to the end zone. Touchdown, Mount Paran, first play from scrimmage offensively, and that was Jack Allen. Big time run, that one, 59 yards.
Mount Paran's sideline getting very fired up. Obviously not what you want to see if you're the Paladins. And I've seen a replay right here. Just can't get those gaps sealed up like they want to. And he goes right past secondary. Almost got him. He's just fast. That speed kills. And once he got out in the open, he was gone from the get-go.
Jack Allen averaged over 10 yards per carry last week in their win. Had 11 carries for 116 yards. Had a touchdown, so he now has rushing touchdowns in back-to-back games as that extra point is up and through, and the Paladins trail 7-3, 10:07 remaining on the clock here in the third quarter. So certainly not how you draw it up if you're Coach Winter, no doubt about that. But you've been down, right? You played down for the whole fourth quarter last week, and you went down 7-0 to Discovery in your first home game. And so this is nothing new, playing from behind. You just got to regroup as an offense and maybe more importantly, find something offensively that's going to bring success.
Right. Once you find something offensively, you keep replicating it, and it gives your defense a rest if it's successful enough to take some time off the clock. And again, that translates over to defense. Makes it a little easier for them, knowing that you have a winning formula on the offensive side. All it takes is just second half now. You made your adjustments. Just find the winning thing. Not a whole lot of time left. And if you can find something that works, odds are the other team's going to have a hard time at this point of the game adjusting to it.
A touchback off the foot of McClarty last time. We'll see if he does it again. That one looks like it's got touchback distance, and it will. So McClarty not giving Barroza's a holler a chance to start anything, and it seems like in the return game, of a kickoff return, that would be a big opportunity to get some momentum since your offense is kind of sputtering right now.
Right, it's really sputtering, and again, that's the third phase. That's one of those things that can just factor in. It doesn't factor in a lot. when you have a big play like that. But when you do have a big play on a special teams, it can add momentum like nothing else.
Ball starting on the 20, second drive in a row. McCarthy and company looking to get this ball rolling offensively. Looking at the sideline for Coach Winter to get the call. It's going to be Barroza's in motion. It's going to be a midline. McCarthy keeps it. Not a lot of room. First contact met at the line. Number 24, Jackson Reese for the Eagles.
It almost looked like McCarthy went to the half of the line that wasn't blocking. He kind of went to the right when the line had I thought, a pretty good wall to the left. So interesting there. That's his experience. You just got to trust him to make the right call for himself.
So gain of 1 on that play brings up a 2nd and 9 for this offense. Ball on the 21. One receiver at each side. It is going to be a pass. Quick throw out to Binkley. It's caught upfield, and he looks like he'll be just a little bit short, although forward progress may get him to the 30. Just need the nose of the football to touch the 30 for a first down here. And they're going to say third down as we see it on the replay. McCarthy, 3-step drop, hits Binkley right in the breadbasket. Catch, turn up field, bringing up a little tough spot there. That's a long one. It looked like Binkley was a lot closer to the first down sticks. So we'll see tight formation here. Down, split out wide to the right. Only receiver tied into the right side. And McCarthy keeps it, falls forward, and that'll be a first down for McCarthy.
And we saw that quick pass from McCarthy to Binkley to play before. And hey, if it's working for Paran and you're having a hard time finding things to do, might as well imitate to see what's going on and how they're having success, and just stuff like this. Toss a little pass play in there once in a while, and you just may get something going. You never know.
And it's not like you're running the triple because you have a quarterback that can't throw. You have a quarterback that's capable of throwing.
Oh, absolutely.
So just got to get that in within the offense, and he will again. Pressure right in his face, makes one man miss, makes a few man miss. Stiff arm, eyes downfield, and he had Holler in the middle of the field, throwing a little low. McCarthy doing a nice job evading the rush. 3-4 got right in his face on that play. Got to the edge, just threw it a little low, couldn't quite set his feet.
Offensive line for the Paladins got to do a better job of just sealing up those gaps. That's tough when you're running. You're back there and you're trying to throw the ball. You got to evade guys, and your offensive line just can't do anything about it at that point. So you got to get at that point of attack, get the leverage, and really keep your feet moving and keep your guy engaged. Don't let him get back there to McCarthy.
John Paul, you talked about this is one of the biggest fronts that we've seen, and McCarthy will throw it again, and nice pass break up there. That was number 2, Jake Wilson, knocking that ball away from Corey Downs, bringing up a 3rd and 10.
Even more pressure. McCarthy's getting pressured every play. You're not going to have success with that.
So 3rd and 10, we've seen 3 pass plays now from this Paladin offense, picking up some good chunks of yards, or at least having the opportunity to. Seems to be a little more successful in the run game so far. Mount Paran really keyed in on that run game. 3rd and 10, it's going to be a delayed handoff to Binkley, and it looked like he might have room, but a nice shoestring tackle there. That was number 61 for the Mount Paran defense. And we don't have a number for him, so we'll credit that one as a team tackle.
A team tackle sounds good.
So again, another punt here for Pinecrest. 7:55 on the clock. McCarthy tying his shoe. Making sure he gets a big punt into this one. Had one of 40, had one of 50 plus so far. Maybe we're due for one of 60 here. Low snap, handled, and a nice high kick. It will bounce, and again, take another Pinecrest Paladins. Roll down at the 35-yard line. So that punt was about 35 yards.
You ever notice fantasy football, you got the offensive line and the punter who are like the only positions who don't get covered. I think the punter should have some fantasy points. They could set that up. You got
some coffin corners inside the 20. Inside, I think
some
so.
bonuses set up.
I have to add that to my league as commissioner next year. I'm sure everyone will be excited about it. So here we go. It will be Knox again leading this offense. He's led them to some success. Touchdown on their only play. The second half, they go right back to the same play. It's Allen again, and Addison Ale comes up Daniel Duke comes up on the tackle there.
Again, we're just seeing this secondary really making plays for Pinecrest.
Allen coming up slow. Excuse me, didn't interrupt you there. Limping off a little bit. But no, to your point, great job by this defensive secondary of helping in run support. And Coach Warren talked about it. He said, with this team, we're going to play tight to the line with our corners. They've got to be able to help. And we see it here. Only one receiver split out wide. It's Pope, although a little confusion here. And Mount Paran will call a timeout. Didn't want that ball to snap with any kind of confusion. And while we have this timeout, as a certified financial planner, Pinecrest Academy family member Bill Kiernan brings the professional certification that provides peace of mind that you will receive sound advice for your financial planning needs. Bill provides safe money strategies. Whether you're looking to participate in market gains or avoid costly money management fees to grow your wealth, Bill can provide support and guidance. Follow the lead of many of your friends at Pinecrest and call Bill at 678-776-4592 to learn what he can do for you. You can rest assured that following safe money strategies with Bill can provide the asset growth that you desire. So we're back here on Pinecrest Academy Football presented by SUVtv. Alongside John Paul Hoover, I'm Ned Case. Thanks for being with us on this final Friday night of September. There's a little chill in the air. Wishing I'd brought my jacket as I strolled around at halftime. But it'll be Jared Knox keeping the football for the Eagles and breaks a tackle of Carson Holler. Daniel Duke brings him down. Second tackle in a row for Duke. That run went for 10 yards and a first down.
And I don't like being critical. Even though these guys are my friends, I go to school with them, but I can't help but look at the defensive line and these linebackers just giving it all to the secondary. Here, you take care of it. And it's kind of frustrating to watch, but I'm sure they'll make adjustments. They know what's going on. They did it with Pisgah. They figured out a way to stop it.
So 4 down linemen for Pinecrest. There's something a little different we don't usually see. And a flag comes in. Looks like they're going to say offsides on the Paladins as that line shifted. Defensive line just got a little bit excited. So there's 5 free yards, bringing up a 1st and 5 for this offense. And penalties are something that you cannot afford in a game like this where every yard is so hard fought for. Giving them free yards really hurts.
Right, it really hurts, and we saw that evident from Mount Paran earlier in this game, just helping out the Paladins on both offense and defense, and now looks like it's kind of shifting to the Paladins doing that. That's not a good sign.
So Knox 1st and 5 in the backfield with Weber, and it goes to Weber, and he's got nowhere to go. Taking back those yards, it was number 55, Nolan Stafford.
Great play by Nolan Stafford, just getting back there. You can see he just burst right through the line.
And you talked about it. We needed somebody up front to shed a block and make a play. And Nolan Stafford says, you know what? I'll step up. I'll do it. Love to see a junior making a big-time play.
Great to see. Great to see.
So, again, Weber in the backfield with Knox. 2nd and 9. Stafford with a big play there. And it's going to be a quick throw out to Reeder. Caught, driven back. Daniel Duke doing a nice job driving on that football.
And I see Pope, number 17, on this side of the field, and he's just lined up with Corey Downs. He got one safety back who could go on a deep route on our side if he had that. And Pope looks like he would be free every time if he just did a little short curl route. And that's got to be a little unnerving. I don't know. Pope's a big guy. He'd break a little tackle, and he's gone. So we'll see if they'll do anything about that. I don't know, but it looks a little dangerous to me.
3rd and 2 here for the Eagles. Could be 2 down territory. It goes to Weber. He spins off a tackle, stays on his feet, makes another man miss, and he's going to get to the edge down the sideline to the 20, to the 10, cuts upfield, stays on his feet briefly, spins down at the 10-yard line. Very impressive run there from Weber, breaking tackles. This Paladin defense just looks a little tired, maybe not bringing their feet like they should be on some of these tackles.
Yeah, not flowing to the ball. A couple of bad angles on that, as you can see on the replay.
But certainly nothing to take away here from Weber. He spun off a tackle, made Carson Holler miss. Corey Downs did a nice job of hawking the big running back down. But inside the red zone for the first time tonight is this Eagle offense. It's going to be a handoff back to Weber up the middle. He is tackled in the end zone. Touchdown, Mount Paran. They're second in a row, second to start this second half, and they're up 13-3, looking to make it 14 with this extra point.
They're just picking apart this defense. It's no matter what they try, no matter what the Paladin defense tries to do, it looks like they're just helpless out there. It looks like a completely different team for the first half.
Very much a different team in the first half, and a ton of success running up the middle. First it was Allen on a long touchdown run, then a nice long drive finished by number 21, Chandler Weber. And now the extra point from McClarty. Hold is down, kick is up, kick is easily through. And that'll make it 14-3 with 4:08 remaining here in the third quarter. Between the Pines, Pinecrest struggling at home, and you know, it's simple. You can just attribute it to the offense not being able to get rolling. You know, this defense has done a nice job. They've been on the field a lot. 14 points through 2.5 quarters, certainly nothing to be ashamed of, but you have to find a way, whether it's in the passing game, whether it's inside running, whether it's outside, but you just have to get this offense going.
Right, and
because Mount Paran is going to get more conservative in their play calling. It's going to take away the opportunity for turnovers.
Exactly, that's a great point. And you got just over a quarter left. This is an important time. You really need to set the tone for the fourth quarter on offense. You got to find something. You got to find something that can be productive and do it consistently. Don't try to go back to something that doesn't work. Just keep going and to do what works. It sounds simple, but tough to find.
McClarty 2 for 2 on touchbacks. This one looks like it's going to be short, so it will have to be covered by this Eagle kickoff team. And Holler breaks a tackle, stays on his feet, tries to get to the edge, but again, looked like somebody just had a hold of his ankle. He couldn't quite break free, so this drive will start just a few steps in front of the 20-yard line.
I think this is as close to a must-score possession as you can get in the third quarter. It's really, as I said before, you find something that works, do it consistently, and the defense got a hold. But that should make it easier for the defense if they know their offense can score.
Ball on the 21-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Paladin offense, led by Citadel commit Ryan McCarthy. Holler's going to come in motion. It's going to be a midline. McCarthy keeps it once again. Just nowhere to go. And this, you know, this is tough. When you're in this triple option and you can't get things going, this is your offense. You don't have a lot of different formations, so you have to find a way to get something going.
You have to find a way, and usually if you want to be successful, you're going to have to incorporate that triple option offense into it. Otherwise, you got a limited playbook. So if they can find a way to get, I think the edge is the answer. If they can get some perimeter block and really go on the edge, it should be good.
Tight formation here, and we're trying to get to the edge with Baroses. He hurdles a man and is taken down from behind. He got out to about the 23-yard line. We'll see where he gets spotted. So a little bit to the edge there, picked up about 4 yards. So that's one of the more successful plays to the edge we've seen so far, but Mount Paran just flowing there so fast, and it just seems like there's more white jerseys than green blockers.
It does, and their defense certainly looks energized. I think they've been in the field a lot less than the Paladins defense has, and that just goes back to offense.
3rd and 7 here for McCarthy. It's going to be a pitch. Holler's going to look to throw. Nowhere to go. Reverses his field. Got a lot of room. Can he make a couple man miss? Cuts it upfield. Stays on his feet. And he is not going to make anything happen. Good defense there once again by this Mount Paran defense. And it'll bring out the punt team for Coach Winter once again.
And that's tough to see, because if you see a call like that, it usually means a lot of other things aren't working. And so that's tough to see heading into the fourth quarter, but good punt here. And if the defense can hold them, maybe just pump some energy into this offense. Get something going.
No one back deep for Pinecrest, so if this takes a bounce, it could be very helpful. Once again, another good bounce. It's starting to move back upfield and down at the 39-yard line of Mount Paran. 2:21 on the clock. Mount Paran, 2 touchdowns on their last 2 drives, running the football very effectively. Really only 1 pass to Raider on the far side that I remember. It's been a lot of Jared Knox. He seems to be the quarterback they found to make things work. They flirted with all 3 quarterbacks in that first half. Knox has been the man of the hour here in the second half, and he's led them on 2 scoring drives. This Paladin defense, we say it all the time, and they've done it so far throughout the year, have to have a stop.
Gotta have a stop and get some energy into this team.
It's Knox, he hands it off, looking for some room down the sideline to the 40, to the 30. I don't know if he's gonna get caught, to the 10, 5, touchdown. Once again, number 21, Chandler Weber. And this Pinecrest defense just is not tackling. Don't know if it's tired, don't know if it's a struggle, but man, it is tough right off the edge.
And you see
Chandler Weber missed tackles.
And a huge blocks from the couple of offensive linemen there, but really they look tired and look outmatched.
So this Paladin offense struggling right now. Defense having to play a ton, on the field a ton. Extra point by McClarty. Off the right foot is up and through as to be expected. So that makes it 21-3 in this Region 6A game. We talked about it coming in 2-0. Pinecrest 1-1 after a loss to Fellowship late in August. Mount Paran came in and had the chance to even it up, and they've done that. And it was a slow first half. We talked about it a little bit off air. We said, this 3-0, that could win you the football game. After the way we watched the first half, Mount Paran couldn't move the football. I think they passed the 50-yard line once in that first half. And they've made some great adjustments offensively, and defensively, they're just flowing to the football. They're not doing anything crazy. That defensive line shifts a little bit right before the snap, but they're just flowing to the football and tackling.
Right, you got to give credit where credit is due. Paran has been playing a fantastic second half. It's really hard to find anything they're doing wrong. It's just, like you said, they're not doing anything tricky. They're just running over the Paladins.
Right.
On offense and defense.
So McClarty kicks it deep. Last one wasn't a touchback. This one will be. So we'll start on the 20-yard line for the third out of 4 times.
McClarty's got quite a leg on him.
Big time leg. We saw him here at halftime kicking. It looked like he had about 50-yard field goal range. So and at the time we thought, they might have to keep him pretty deep. This guy can make a field goal, tie it up at 3-3 late in the game.
Yeah.
But McClarty's leg right now not needed. As 3 straight touchdown scores for this Mount Paran offense have all the momentum on the Eagles sideline. Pinecrest desperately grasping for any kind of momentum, any kind of positive play, and it's not going to start there as McCarthy loses yards. And this Mount Paran defense, they have been impressive.
Very impressive. And they don't look a whole lot bigger. They certainly have a little bit of a size advantage, but as Coach Winter always said, it's about getting the leverage, getting your body in a position where you can take on anything. That's just physics. There's a way to do it. It's a matter of perfecting the technique.
So 2 receivers, 1 to each side. Binkley to the near side. Top of the screen, it's downs. McCarthy's got Hunter Hawk in the backfield with him. It's going to be a give to Hawk. He's got a little bit of room, and he'll gain about 8 yards. That's the most positive play we've seen out of the ground game in almost 2-3 quarters.
Yeah, certainly so. And we got quite excited on that play. You got a little bit of room, but
right, I got excited.
Got a little room, but it's. I think that's how this game is. That pretty much sums up the game. You got a few yards on a run, and you're getting pretty excited about it. That's how the offense is performed.
3rd and 4 for McCarthy and the Paladins here, and it's going to be a keeper by McCarthy. Nowhere to go. Great pursuit down the line by the Eagle defense. Number 8, Emmett Talafario tackle for loss, and that'll bring up 4th down. And the official's going to stop the clock here. So the clock stopped for now as they set the ball. So that was a loss of about 4 yards on that play. And McCarthy again back deep, will have to punt. Clock runs. 30 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. And McCarthy's right-footed kick is up again. No one deep for, and another huge bounce. That one's going to roll inside the 30.
And this Pinecrest,
that was another 50-yard punt right there.
This special teams unit is having a phenomenal game, I think. And they're just setting the defense and the offense up perfectly, and then
not executing. Not tackling.
Not tackling.
And that's the thing. It's been frustrating. Besides that one run, Allen did really just use some speed to bust through there. But it seems like that last long one and the long drive before that, Paladins were in the right spots. They just didn't make tackles.
Right. So this is a matter of finishing.
Executing.
So
Knox in the gun with Allen. Allen with a long touchdown run. Tries to get to the edge. Holler overruns him. And he will be dragged down there for a gain of about 6. Holler looked like a missile firing downhill from his safety position, but just over committed a little bit as Allen cut it upfield. And that will be the final play here of the 3rd quarter. A 3rd quarter dominated by Mount Paran as they scored 21 unanswered points to take a 21-3 lead into the 4th quarter. We'll be back between the Pines for Pinecrest Academy football right after this break.
This Pinecrest Academy football broadcast is brought to you by Billy Howe Ford, family owned and operated since 1977. Atlanta Rehabilitation and Performance Center, official provider for the Paladins. Team physician, Haynes Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Foresight, dedicated to all better.
And welcome back here to Forsyth County. We're here at Pinecrest Academy between the Pines for this football game. 12 minutes on the clock, 1 quarter remaining here as Pinecrest down 21-3, looking to defend that region championship. Big Region 6A game. I'm Ned Case alongside John Paul Hoover. 2nd and 2 here coming up. Power football as Knox is in the gun with Allen. Hands it off to Allen, looking for a little room. Hurdles his own man, and he's not going to find a lot more room, but did find enough room for a 1st down.
So we saw Paran on offense just making aggressive calls coming into the 2nd half, and since then they've obviously dialed it down, and they should. But even when they're making conservative calls, they're still getting a good amount of positive yards. So I think if you're the defense, there's not much more you can do, but it's at this point of the game, this is crunch time. You got to step up.
Yeah, defensively, you can't give up another touchdown, right? Maybe you can give up a field goal. You cannot give up another touchdown, especially with this triple option attack. That looks like it may be a delay of game. Nope, it'll be a timeout called by Mount Paran as they didn't want the delay of game, and so that 2nd timeout they've used in the 2nd half. So they're down to 1 timeout, up, 17 points. That doesn't seem, 18 points. It doesn't seem like as big of a deal, but Pinecrest can put a little pressure on. We'll see what happens. Another interesting game trend, I would say, is right now McCarthy not in at linebacker. Usually we see him roaming all over the field. He had 11 tackles last week. Did a really nice job spying Sendoy running sideline to sideline. but maybe is this just let's keep them fresh offensively? We're really going to need them.
I think it is. I think that's the most logical explanation for it. And it seems like a good decision to me. You know, when you got linebackers, and we haven't seen a lot of plays made by McCarthy on defense so far. So maybe it's just trying a new guy and a bonus of keeping him fresh on offense.
Power football here for Knox. Looks like Allen's in the backfield with them. Excuse me, that's Weber. Weber's got a long touchdown run himself. And it's going to go to Weber again. He's going to spin off a man, and nice job chasing the play from behind. Late action on the far sideline, although it don't look like a flag is going to come in. But Weber's helmet popped off, so that should force him out of the game for play.
Weber is just a different kind of running back that Pinecrest really hasn't seen this season yet. His center of gravity is just so low, and it allows him to be really just agile while breaking tackles and juking guys out at the same time.
Knox again in the gun. He's going to keep it off the left side and stood up there. He's not going to get the first down. He's going to be 2 yards short. So a big opportunity here on third down for this Pinecrest defense to get off the field.
Big opportunity. This would be, huge opportunity to actually stop them in their path they haven't done all half. So it's really, really important to get a play that you know that you can actually finish with on third down.
So 3rd and 2 here for this offense. One receiver split out to each side. It's going to be a shotgun keeper, and I don't know if he got it. He's going to be short. That was Knox on the keeper right straight ahead, and he is short. A yard short, so decision time here. You would think Paran would punt it deep and make this offense try to drive the length of the field. And as McClarty comes on the field, that looks like what they'll do. McCarthy jogs back to return this.
Interesting not seeing Holler going back there. Something with his hand or his arm. And just another facet of the game, those injuries. Teams change over time, and that's a big part of who you see throughout the season.
Oh, it's a fake, and it's a throw. First down, Stevens. And that one hurts. Direct snap went to Van Gurilli. He popped up, and he found Davis Stevens wide open. Same place on the field. We saw a fake pump by Pinecrest against Discovery earlier in the year. And that one really hurts as Pinecrest had an opportunity to get off the field, get the offense the ball back. But with 9:32 remaining, it'll be another first down for this Eagle offense.
If a run up the middle is a punch in the gut, then that is like stepping on your toes. There's nothing you can do about it. It really hurts. That's just frustrating. That really hurts.
Knox again at running back, gives it to Allen, and he's met by Hunter Hawk right at the 40-yard line. Hunter Hawk doing a nice job defensively, called his name a couple times in the second half. Holler again, shaking that right arm. Don't know if it's a dead arm. Got banged up, caught in between some helmets earlier, but he does seem to be in a little bit of pain.
And a considerable amount of pain. I think he's a very big part of all three phases. Only him and I think McCarthy are really as important in all three phases of the game, and to lose him, that wouldn't be good.
Weber spells Allen in the backfield. They go to Weber off the left side. Stays on his feet. He's going to try to stiff arm Holler, and Downs and Holler will drag him down together, but he is down to the 20-yard line. We talked about it. One more touchdown. He just feels like it could be the nail in the coffin with his triple option. Offense not finding a lot of success. Ball is spotted at the 21-yard line, so just outside the red zone.
And as we see in the replay, dude, almost every play that it's kind of go up the middle a little bit and they just cut out, and it's just you can't catch up at that point. When you don't have the right angle, you're not going to catch up to him.
And it goes again to Weber, and he hits the ground, stumbles forward, gains a few yards. So that was clogged up there.
We got an Eagle down at the 25-yard line.
And player down on the far side looks like Mount Paran. So we'll see Hopefully we'll just cramps.
I think even a field goal at this point
is a win.
Yeah, it's a win. It
keeps it a 3-score game. You know, that's
exactly.
And as we have 7:45 on the clock, seems like 3 scores. It's going to be a lot. They're going to have to come quick. You're going to need a little help, but 3 scores is manageable. You get to 4, now you're really tough situation.
Really tough situation.
So on the far side, getting up under his own power for the Eagles, it's number 75, Carter Smith, the senior, 6'2", 250. He's walking off under his own power. Does look a little gimpy. So 2nd and 8 here for this offense. 7:45 on the clock. This Paladin defense has to get a stop. Would really love a turnover here.
This is going to show what this defense is made of, their character. What are they going to put on the field? This is the last drive that could be remembered in this game. This is really going to set the tone.
So Knox in the backfield. He's joined by Weber. It's going to be a power for Knox. He's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. And they look like they're going to run away with this one. As Pinecrest in the second half defensively just not able to stop this run game. We've seen Weber, we've seen Knox, we've seen Allen. It's been a variety of guys, and they're just wearing down this Pinecrest defense.
Wearing down. And it at least in the first part of the second half, they were close to making tackles. Now they're not even getting close to these guys.
You're right.
It's again, it's frustrating.
But in this power football, when you're just, it's funny because it's what the triple option does to other teams, right? It's run. You're getting cut block on the outside, run, and it's the same thing. That just the problem is a lot of these guys who are the defensive line for Pinecrest is the offensive line for Pinecrest, and they're just getting worn out in the trenches. And it's just 2 teams that are running the football. As the extra point is down, up, and nope, looks like a flag. Nope, extra point's up and good, excuse me there. But it just seems, especially in the second half, that Mount Paran has imposed their will on the game.
Absolutely, they've seen in firm control the entire second half. It looks like a completely different team come out of the locker room. I haven't noticed a significant decline in the play of the Paladins on offense and defense, more so an increase in efficiency and effectiveness on the Mount Paran side. It really just taking over this game, and the Paladins can't seem to do anything about it. That's got to be frustrating to the coach, but this is when you learn. You're going to practice this week. This is what you adjust to throughout the week, and you learn how to play opponents like this throughout the season. And you're going to see these guys maybe once again this season, so you're going to have to learn how to defend them a little better.
So 7:16 on the clock. Holler and Burrows is back deep. McClarty will tee it up. He's put 3 of 4 in the end zone, 4 touchbacks. We'll see if he makes it 4 of 5, and from the looks of it, he will. So McClarty, I mean, Coach Winter talked about it. He said they've got a good kicking group. He was worried about the field position battle. Certainly McClarty hasn't, well, besides the one opportunity, hasn't given Burrows or Holler a chance to get the ball in open space, which they haven't been able to do within the offense.
Right, and that's, and I personally recommended an edge, a little rushing on the edge there, but my recommendation was a little
seemed to get brushed under the pile.
No, he tried it. He tried it almost after I said it, and it didn't work. So
here we go. Passing situations for a lot of the game. Slant and go. Downs behind the defender. What flag should come in as the defender never turned his head, and I don't know how this official right on the play doesn't throw the flag. I know face guarding is legal, but you cannot make contact. And Coach Winter Cannot believe it. We'll see if we can see it on the replay. Never turns his head, runs right into the cornerback. And I'll tell you what, that is just, if things weren't going well already for Pinecrest, that missed call certainly didn't help anything.
That was it. He had him wrapped up. That was just a
right. And again, in high school, you can face guard. You just can't make that contact until the ball gets there. And it certainly looked like contact was made early. The Downs couldn't haul it in, so 2nd and 10. It will be another pass play. This time a quick throw out to Downs. Catches it, stays on his feet, and he's knocked out of bounds along the sideline. He's going to be just about a yard short, bringing up a 3rd and 1 for this Paladin offense. Downs, I'll tell you what, Downs has been a phenomenal playmaker for this team all year. He's got 2 touchdown catches. He now has 5 interceptions on the year, had a forced fumble last week. So Corey Downs making a lot of plays for this team on both sides of the ball. We're really going to need him to make some plays if we're going to score quick here.
Definitely.
At 6:30 and clock. 6:30 and counting on the clock. It's going to be a blitz. McCarthy's going to try to bull forward. Again, all he needs is the nose of the football on the 30 for an automatic first down. Looks like
maybe a little short.
Just short, and I don't think there's any reason not to go for this one. As Coach Winter will send the play in with Corey Downs. And Downs will pass it along to McCarthy, who sends it to the offense. And we got a big 4th down here. 4th and 1, 6 minutes on the clock as we tick under the halfway mark of this final quarter. McCarthy, combining words there. I'm trying to talk fast. I want this team to play fast. We need some quick touchdowns. McCarthy gives off a dive, and Binkley bulls forward for a first down. Clock will stop momentarily as they reset the chains.
Hey, that's step 1.
Yep, no doubt.
First down.
And that's the first down we've seen from this offense, and it seems like quite some time.
It does.
So we'll see if they can get the ball rolling here. 3 timeouts remaining for the Paladins. Clock continues to run. Binkley on the far side, split out. Downs to the near side. Burrows is in motion. It's going to be a throw again, going deep. Downs just could not find that football in time. It seemed like a timing route there, and McCarthy let it go at the end of that 3-step drop, but Downs couldn't find any separation from the corner.
Yeah, a little tough. The Paran coverage has been exceptional today, and McCarthy seemed to struggle a little bit when he's throwing towards that sideline, but when you can't get any separation, it doesn't matter if it's a perfect throw or not. He's going to have a hard time catching it.
2nd and 10, ball on the 32-yard line. Clock stops after that incompletion. McCarthy throws again. Looks like a hook and ladder, but waiting for it was Mount Paran. They had that one scouted. Coming up in defensive help, Jake Wilson making a nice play.
Yeah, that's one of those plays that you can do just a few times every few games.
And certainly in a passing situation, you know the parent coaches are saying, watch the hook and ladders, watch the reverses, watch any kind of that trickeration.
But again, that's impressive by the Paran defense at this point of the game.
No doubt.
Not taking their foot off the gas pedal and really just keeping their heads in the game to see that coming.
This Paran defense has been the story of the game, holding this offense to no points. It's the opening drive, and the ball's on the ground. And I don't know if McCarthy got back on it. It looked like as he dropped back to pass, maybe one of the running backs ran into him. It was hard to tell. Clock stops, 5:03 on it. Definitely got to keep an eye on that clock as we need it to move slow. And it's going to be 4th down as they run the clock. So a big time 4th down, chance to keep that slim chance of victory alive. 4th and 9 after that loss, and Coach Winter's just going to send out the punt unit.
Yeah, I guess that's a pretty conservative call. It's a so-so call, but
it seems like a call that says let's not get any unnecessary injuries, silly penalties out of frustration. McCarthy, there's a nice high punt. That's his shortest one. Does he get another bounce? He does, man.
Wow.
He's had some awesome bounces. That one a little short of 40 yards, so that's going to hurt the average.
It will hurt the average a little bit, but whenever McCarthy isn't producing a ton in the defense or offensive side of things,
Contributing.
Excuse me. He makes up for it in special teams.
Right.
It's just great to see.
That's what I mean. He's contributing in every aspect.
Right, exactly. He's contributing every aspect. We're running out of things to say here.
So this Mount Paran offense will come back out. It looks like at quarterback now, Knox is going to get spelled for Kyle Terry, who we saw in the first half at quarterback and at receiver. He's going to catch, run to the left side, and Holler's going to drag him down, but Terry will have a first down.
Terry's a quick little guy, and he just get out to the edge.
Caught it and just took off.
There you go. That's all you need. If the Paladins get that, we saw that had success against Pisgah with Michael Burrows is getting to that outside. I just feel like if they just try that a little more, but at this point of the game, obviously that would be useless. But next game, maybe, I don't know.
So under 4 minutes on the clock now as power formation here for Mount Paran. Terry again comes to the near side of the field this time. He's going to try to get to the edge. He does smart job. Staying in bounds, stays on his feet. Daniel Duke tried to punch that ball out. Terry very patient on his run, waiting for lanes to get open as they cross over to Paladin side of the field.
And I can't stop talking about this secondary. This secondary is as well as they can play while the defensive line and the linebackers are just kind of handing them the tackles. It's been impressive, even though the score is obviously what it is. You still got guys like Daniel Duke trying to strip the ball, really just giving his heart out there, and that's what you want to see at this point of the game.
So Terry again in the backfield. This time he'll hand it off. Not a lot of room to go, but same ball looks like it's on the ground. That ball came loose. Number 13 was carrying the ball. Cameron Moore, first time we've seen him tonight, but he put that ball on the grass. And they're going to say Mount Paran keeps the football. Looked like down at the bottom of that pile for the Eagles was big old number 70. Don't have a name for him. Well, you got your shout out.
You got a shout out.
Landon Jackson. So 2:45 counting on the clock.
So I guess if you're the Paladins, you go back to the drawing board, see what's going on.
You play again tomorrow, and as we talk about that, looking at Pinecrest's next 3 games. Next week, back at home, Kings Ridge, homecoming game, right? So that's a great opportunity to get back on track as Terry hands it off to Allen, trying to find room on the left side. He's going to be short of the first down, tackle at the 34-yard line. After Kings Ridge next week, October 14th, travel to Fellowship Christian, always a strong school. They knocked off Mount Paran earlier in the year. And then in 3 weeks, Whitfield Academy back here, another opportunity to win a big Class A game. Looking at Mount Paran, their next 3 games, they're at Walker next week, home against Walker next week. We saw Walker 2 weeks ago here on Pinecrest Academy Football presented by SUVtv. Then Mount Paran will travel to Whitfield. And on October 21st, they'll host St. Francis. So both these teams getting into the heart of region play. Brooks Binkley with a big hit there, driving the running back down to the turf. Number 33 with his first carry, Noah Wogner.
Big old tackle from Brooks Binkley right there. If we could have gotten more of that throughout this game. We saw a little bit earlier in the game, but hey, again, you got guys playing like this in a minute left.
You gotta finish it.
That you got to finish it, and it's better than guys just slacking off and just giving away the game.
So we're going to have a long field goal attempt here from McClarty. Has 60 seconds and counting are on the clock. So we got a 51-yard field goal attempt here from McClarty. He showed he had the range, and Coach Winter says, let's ice him real quick.
Why not? You got a few of them. Why not use them?
You got to use them. He said, I got 2 more. He said, I'm going to use them all.
Yeah.
So we saw this last week. Of course, Mount Pisgah was doing their best to ice Stuart Jeans. Stuart Jeans would not be iced as he put that one through for 17-14 win last week. This week, it looked like it was going to be going in that same kind of low-scoring defensive battle kind of situation, type of game. But Mount Paran, I mean, I can't talk about it. 4 rushing touchdowns in the second half. Just can't talk about how successful they were running the football the last 24 minutes of this game.
They've been playing phenomenal. I can't remember the last time we saw a pass from them. They're just making conservative calls at the same time, getting huge plays out of them. It's really impressive what they've done. You can't take away their credit. It's really amazing what they're doing.
So here we go. 51-yard field goal off the foot of Jackson McClarty, the senior. Coach Winter uses his second one.
Yeah, we saw McClarty, like you said, at halftime. He had it lined up right about there.
Well, and you know, if you're Coach Winter, I understand it, right? If they're going to line up to kick a field goal here, they're going to play it like it's a real game situation. And Coach Winter says, I'm going to play it like it's a real game situation.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my timeout. I'm going to try to ice your kicker. So the parent section of Mount Paran section over there booing a little bit. They want to see McClarty take this field goal. But if you're Coach Winter, totally makes sense. And if he misses it, it's really going to be worth it.
Oh, definitely. And maybe just a little payback from that fake punt that was just kind of.
And Coach Winter, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Coach Winter standing right next to the ref, got his hands in the timeout motion. He'll wait till everyone gets down, and let's see, is he going to use it? He's right in the official's ear. You can see him. Nope, he didn't use it that time. It goes blocked. Wow. Carson Holler comes off the edge, blocks that one, and there's a little bit of light on this game.
Like you said, that makes it all worth it. That makes it calling those timeouts.
Exactly. So perfect. Carson Holler came off the edge, said, we're not going to let you do any more damage, get any kind of highlight tape. And and that is something you worry about with that decision to kick it there. It just seems like it could get chippy. You know, a situation like that, you know, you understand it. I'm sure that kicker's worked hard. He wants to kick a 50-plus yard field goal. I totally understand that. You just have to be careful that it doesn't get chippy. The officials did a really nice job there making sure nothing silly happened. So we'll see here. 41 seconds on the clock. We'll see if Coach Winter tries to attack or if he'll just run this clock out and move on to the game next week as they host Kings Ridge back at home here between the Pines. McCarthy under center. He'll give it off to Binkley. He'll gain about 4 yards, and Pinecrest shouldn't have to run another play. 30 seconds on the clock. So again, 28-3 the score. It was 3-0 at halftime. Pinecrest playing well defensively. Both teams actually playing well defensively in that first half. Defense for Mount Paran in the second half was absolutely stellar. Never gave Ryan McCarthy a chance as he will throw the football. He's going to throw it over the middle of the field and intended for Barozes. It skipped to him. So 7.6 seconds left. We'll have at least one more play here. But again, a 31-yard field goal on Pinecrest's opening drive. They forced 3 and out. Went down, kicked field goal, 3-0. That was the score at the half. We thought maybe field goal was all it was going to take to win this game. Boy, were we wrong.
Boy, were we wrong.
Allen, 59 yards. Weber with a short touchdown run. Then Weber from over 50 yards, a long touchdown run. And then Knox ran one in from 18 to make it 28-3. So 7 seconds on the clock. Barozes comes in motion. It is a pitch out to Barozes. He's got a lot of room. This is the most positive play they've had to the edge. And the clock will run out. And that will do it. So Mount Paran comes between the Pines and knocks off Pinecrest, giving them their their first region loss of the year. 2-1 in the region, 3-2 on the year as we're at the halfway mark of the season. John Paul, closing thoughts. It was tough. I think the Mount Paran defense is the story of the game.
I think they're, without a doubt, the story of the game. And like I said before, it's hard to fault the Paladins too much because Paran just came out in that second half playing 10 times better than they did before. And when you make adjustments for a team that you saw in the first half and you see a completely different one in the second half, it's hard. It's tough. It's tough to take. but it's a pill you have to take, and you learn from it. It's a great play. It's a great game played by Paran, more so than a bad game.
Right.
Played by
Yes.
Pinecrest. That's close to
Yeah.
Paladins.
And Mount Paran, you could tell they wanted this one. They're excited. Their students are out on the field. So a big time win for Mount Paran. Pinecrest certainly regrouped. There's a lot more football to be played. And they'll be right back at it next week at home against Kings Ridge. You can catch it here on Pinecrest Academy Football, presented by SUVtv. For Ned Case, John Paul Hoover, and our entire crew, thank you for tuning in tonight. Again, the final score, Mount Paran Eagles 28, your Pinecrest Paladins 3. Enjoy your weekend.